And if you see how probably the best way people have seen how the semiconductor has affected their everyday lives is what's happened if you want to buy a car or a used car even. You know, there are people now, because of the shortage of the semiconductors with the auto industry, I mean, the new cars, they sell immediately at sticker price, sometimes even higher, but they're selling at less volume just because less is being produced. But then, because there's not as many new cars, there's a huge demand for used cars. There's actually people whose cars appreciate in value now. It used to always be said the minute you take a new car off a car lot, it goes down in value. It's not a good investment. It really hasn't been historically. Now you actually have people paying more, and people are making money off selling used cars. That's all tied back to what's happening with these semiconductors and with the chips. And so and I think that will probably work itself out in the somewhat near future from the people I've talked to in that industry. But just think, if something were to happen with Taiwanese production, it could throw this whole thing into a tailspin. So we have some vulnerabilities in this regard, and what we're doing here, I think, today recognizes that, and I'm excited that Florida is able to be part of the solution. So I want to be able to have Dane Eagle come up and say a few things.
Well, I want to thank the governor for his work and what he's doing with the Governor's Job Growth Grant Fund. Today is a prime example of how we can use this to better Floridians and the lives of all Floridians. The Job Growth Grant Fund is intended to invest in infrastructure and also workforce development across the entire state. Today we're doing both. And not only that, we're creating jobs not just for Floridians, but creating jobs that would otherwise be shipped overseas, as the governor had stated. So $6 million going to Osceola County to create the southern corridor here to Neo City. We're at this beautiful building. This is just the beginning of what Neo City is going to produce, and that is exciting. That's going to support over 500 jobs right here, and then $3.7 million going to Valencia College to help train people to do the jobs that are going to be created here. That is exciting. I want to thank the governor for his work in promoting this. We have more to do, so if you've got, if you're a county or a state college that is interested in the Governor's Job Growth Grant Fund, shoot them an application. We're going to help vet it and make sure that we are investing in the right projects to help Floridians, and we're very excited about the future here. Thank you all for the opportunity.
Dr. Brad Ferguson.
Thank you. Yep. Thank you, Governor. I'm very excited to welcome Governor DeSantis and other distinguished visitors here today as we acknowledge the Job Growth Grant Fund today. So my name is Brad Ferguson. I'm the Senior Vice President and General Manager of our facility here at SkyWater, Florida. Ever since we started operations in January of 2021 at the height of the pandemic. So SkyWater chose Florida as the state to make our very first site expansion outside of our headquarters in Minnesota for many good reasons. First, the vision that Osceola County leaders like Rep. Fred Hawkins, Commissioner Brandon Arrington, and County Manager Don Fisher had to create Neo City and the Center for Neovation, which provided an opportunity that fit right within our business model of innovation. Second, the support of the local educational institutions, including President Plinsky from Valencia College, to partner on workforce development and ensure that we could tap into and source the knowledge workers that we need for semiconductor advanced manufacturing as we look to grow our presence here in Florida. And last but most importantly, it was clear from our first meetings that the state of Florida had a recipe for success with the business-friendly climate set by Governor DeSantis and the many stakeholders who made a point of welcoming us into the community. So I'd like to thank the Governor, the Florida Department of Economic Opportunity, and Enterprise Florida for their foresight in selecting to award this money, which will encourage other businesses like SkyWater to focus on this region as a destination for expansion in semiconductor advanced manufacturing. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, Chancellor Henry Mack.
Thank you, Governor. Good morning, everyone. Henry Mack, Department of Education. I help oversee all 28 Florida college system institutions, in addition to all career, technical, and adult education and training programs across the state of Florida through our districts and 48 technical colleges. And so on behalf of Commissioner Richard Corcoran, I want to thank you, Governor, and Secretary Eagle for your commitment to career and technical education. And I'd like to begin maybe on that point. I cannot overstate enough how much your leadership, Governor, has meant to the field and to the teachers and faculty and staff in CTE since day one. Upon issuing Executive Order 1931, we've been able to elevate career and technical education as a viable option for students. No longer is it something opposed to traditional academics or university life. That's great for many, but CTE can be an equally awesome and viable, economically prosperous pathway for so many, and that is evidenced by the commitment of Valencia and our school districts, such as Osceola, to double down on career and technical education in and around our state. In point of fact, at the sub-baccalaureate level, we're seeing evidence that AS holders, Associate of Science degree holders, certification holders or industry certification holders, such as students that will benefit from this job growth grant, earn the same median lifetime earnings as all baccalaureate degree holders that graduate from universities. In other words, again, career and technical education is not something that should be thought of as lesser than, but an awesome opportunity for residents, adults and students, and everyone included, to get on a pathway to prosperity. I'll end again by thanking you. At the beginning of the pandemic, you had set aside $35 million for rapid credentialing. This helped incentivize the colleges and the districts to scale these kinds of high-value, high-wage opportunities for underemployed or unemployed adults impacted by the pandemic. And that grant alone helped us witness 17,000 certifications on top of 60,000 graduates across the state of Florida graduating from CTE. That is higher than pre-pandemic levels. Thanks again to your investment and your leadership. And so on behalf of Dr. Plinsky and the entire Florida College System Institution presidents, thank you for your investment. Secretary Eagle, thank you again for your support of workforce education.
And one of the things, if we can continue to expand what is produced here in Florida and manufacture in this regard, we would like to be able to have some auto manufacturing. We see that there's a lot of places throughout the Sun Belt that have been able to do that, in states like South Carolina and Tennessee and Alabama. We would like to be able to do that. You know, we have talked with some companies over the years, but I think this could be kind of an added benefit, both in terms of what's being produced, which is important for that industry, but then also just the emphasis that it shows that we have placed on career and technical education, which is really something that's going to be increasingly important as we go on. So we have to start standing up as Floridians and Americans. We cannot be captive. Key sectors of our economy should not be captive to some of these foreign nations, particularly outfits like the Communist Party of China. And then even when you have allies like Taiwan, how that could impact, if there was a disruption there, could throw a lot of this for the loop, even more than we've already seen over the past year and a half. So the more we have this capacity within our own country, but particularly within our own state here in Florida, the more opportunities there's going to be for people, and the more secure both our economic supply chains will be and our national security. So this is an important announcement. I think it's going to make a big difference, and really this is just the beginning. We'll be doing a lot more in the coming weeks, months, and years. Okay, happy to take any questions.